Hey, what's going on, everybody? Tali Carr here. You know, some days we have so much news out of the SWAC that we just can't do individual stories for our videos. We'd have like 10 stories tonight. So this is one of those special days where we get an episode of As the SWAC Turns. So let's check my news judgment here. Which story is going to be the lead? I think we'll start with Southern University. Let's go back to yesterday. First, though, there was reports by Ian Rappaport that Southern University was interested in NFL Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk to replace Dawson Odoms as head football coach at Southern University. And Rappaport also said there was mutual interest there, that Faulk was interested as well. Well, athletic director Roman Banks talked to WAFB Channel 9 in the local area there in Baton Rouge, and he says by the end of the week, he expects to have a coach. He's interviewed about 15 people so far, and one of those people that he has talked to about the job is indeed Marshall Faulk. So, interesting little nugget I want to put on this before we move on to the next subject. It would be quite interesting, wouldn't it, if Marshall Faulk's name gets leaked, put out there, everybody embraces it and says, yeah, that's right. But somehow Faulk doesn't get the job. I could see it if Faulk decides he's not interested, but it would be something else if Southern embraces that he's a candidate but ultimately goes in a different direction. It would be interesting, is all I'll have to say about that. All right, let's talk more coaching news. Last week, HBCU Game Day reported that Alabama A&M coach Connell Maynor interviewed for the Southern University job. Now, when asked directly about that earlier this week at the SWAC press conference for media, Maynor said, no, I did not. He refuted the story, and as late as today, he even called the story fake news. So, fair enough. We'll take him at his word. But he did tell Mo Carter from WZDX there in Huntsville today that he is very close to signing a new extension with Alabama A&M. The deal is not done yet, but he says he's been in talks with his boss there, and they are really close, and the new deal should keep Maynor in Huntsville there for, he says, about the next 4 to 5 seasons. And he has a pretty big game this weekend, the SWAC Championship against UAPB, that game in Jackson, Mississippi. Did somebody say Jackson, Mississippi, as the SWAC turns? Well, there's another big name in the transfer portal from Jackson State University. Quarterback Quincy Casey announced today on Twitter that, like I said, that Twitter, I don't know where that came from. He announced on Twitter today that he is entering the transfer portal. Here's what he had to say. Here's what he wrote. After much thought, prayer, and talking to my family, I have decided to enter my name into the transfer portal. I have 4 years of eligibility and look forward to the next opportunity to truly compete and display my talents. Now, this announcement just a couple of weeks off of Jalen Jones earlier this month announced that he was entering the transfer portal. So that was the first string and second string quarterbacks for Jackson State as far as this spring was concerned, transferring. Now, to any outside observers who follow Jackson State closely, many of you guys, we all kind of think the same thing, right? That Shedeur Sanders is by far the leading candidate to win the starting quarterback job in the fall. He's the son of Deion Sanders, but more importantly, he's the highest rated recruit to Jackson State University straight out of high school, not counting any transfers, but a 4-star recruit at quarterback. Look, there's been a lot of hype there. We all expect to see him, even though everyone says on Jackson State staff it's an open position, everybody's got a battle. We fully expect to see Shedeur Sanders there at quarterback for Jackson State. But what would have been his 2 backups are now in the transfer portal, so that'll be something to watch as we get closer to the fall. All right, a lot happening today as the SWAC turns here on HBCU Game Day. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll talk to you guys a little later.